right, we're live. So today, welcome back to our weekly real estate podcast. Has everything to do with real estate in Northern Nevada. We have a fresh face this week. I'm really excited about this topic. So let's jump right in. So we're talking to Michele Goodness. How's it going, Michele?
Good. How about you?
Good. So she's talking about a topic that, as an engineer, person that goes black and white, it's a topic that's I struggle with. And a lot of our clients do too, because obviously we attract a lot of people who are like-minded.
Yeah.
And she actually is the owner of High Sierra Staging Company. So she stages houses for a living. So
I do.
We're very excited about this.
I'm excited about this too. This is awesome.
So first of all, give us an introduction. What I'd like to just kind of give how you got in the business, maybe throw out your number and how they contact you.
Okay. So Michele Goodness with High Sierra Staging. We have been doing home staging for the past 3 years in the area. We started out, I have been around real estate for quite some time. My mom has been in real estate for 26 years. Sorry, Mom. But anyways, she's been in real estate for quite some time, and she's gone through the gamut of various different types of real estate. So one of it was always the model home. She sold new homes for quite some time. We were introduced then to what it was like to live in a model home. So we always would go in there and we'd dream about, oh my gosh, this could be my room or this room or whatever, right? Fast forward a little bit, and I'm now an assistant of hers, and we were requested to stage a home. And we were like, sure, well, yes, we could do that for you. And that has now evolved into High Sierra Staging. And it is crazy awesome. We now stage for for everybody in the area. Staging benefits everyone.
So Washoe County, Incline Village, Carson City, the whole gamut.
You name it. You know
Okay,
what?
great.
If you want to take me to Hawaii, I will come to Hawaii for you.
That's why, yes, we love her enthusiasm.
Yes.
So, well, thanks for coming in. It's a topic that we've been trying to set up for several months. So,
Yes.
let's kind of delve right in and do some rapid fire. You ready?
Okay, let's do it.
All right. So, tell me about the 3 to 5 benefits of staging your home. Why do people stage a home, and what's the benefit?
The benefit is when we're preparing a house to go on the market, we have one opportunity to make a first impression. And that can go either way. We can either be the listing that comes on the market that is the top of mind, that is the best listing out there, it showcases the nicest, or we cannot. We prefer that you come in on the market being that listing that everybody wants to go see. So how do we do that? We do that with preparing our home. It goes from getting the house clean, the windows, everything that you can do to paint,
Yep.
everything that we can do to prepare the home, and then bringing us in as a stager to actually present the home and create a feeling, create a lifestyle for people to come in and experience.
So,
it's all about the experience right now.
All great points. One quick question. So,
Yeah.
one of the things that we recommend our clients do is paint their homes.
Yes.
Is that someone we should talk to you first before we do that? To
Bring
match?
me in.
Okay.
The earlier I can come into the process, the earlier that we can come in and start helping you. And it's not even just paint. It's where we're doing countertops. Well, we have great selections. We've seen a lot of refreshes on houses. We have seen a lot of houses. Yeah. So bring us in and let us help.
Okay.
Obviously, it's ultimately their decision, but we have some great go-to colors. There are great go-to colors that you can always put into a house that help.
Great.
Paint is one of the easiest things you can do to transform a house.
Amen.
So that's, yes, bring us in and we'll help.
So,
We'll take it.
give us some other benefits.
So once you have your staging done, or we've prepared this house, and now we're bringing in a professional photographer, right? Because what people do is they go online. I'm on Zillow all the time looking at houses, and it's like Zillow, MLS, all the places that you can go to view houses. It's kind of like eHarmony for buyers and sellers.
Right.
So it's bringing them together. Well, we want to, as the listing side, put out our best picture. We are bringing in that profile picture that's going to make people stop, like, and love that house, because they're going to come back and revisit it. And if our house stands out in the pictures, then they're starting to compare other houses to that. They also now want to go see that house.
Right.
So it gets eyes on. It's the key to get in. It's eyes on the house. It starts that dream process. It starts that emotional attachment that we're going for when we stage a home and when we prepare a house for the market.
All right, give me a few more.
So We're preparing the house. It looks good in the photos. People now come into the house. They start creating that emotional attachment. Most people buy. It's one of their largest investments, right? Yeah. So they buy emotionally. Unless you're an investor, it has to pencil out. I mean, it has to pencil out for everybody. But we buy emotionally. We start creating an emotional attachment from the curb. From that moment that you see the house on the MLS or you see the house on Zillow, you start creating an attachment to that house, an emotional connection. Well, and then they drive up to the house. They now are walking through this house, and it's not that they have to have any house that's available. They now have to have this house. So they're going to bring in their strongest offer. Right. And it's not just about numbers, but various different things in the contract make an offer great, right? So they start putting forward what they can do as a buyer to get this house. So stronger offers, higher offers, multiple offers, a lot goes in to the benefits of why you stage. It's for the sellers to present their property, get it sold quicker, higher, stronger offers. It's also for the buyer to want to make that offer. So there's a quote out there, and I don't have the actual quote, but the gist of it is price gets people into a house, staging gets the offer.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
So a lot of questions right now. We are in a hot seller's market. Yeah. It's actually kind of cooled down recently in the last 3 months. But that's seasonal. But you know, the question I get from a lot of people is staging going to make a difference? Why should I stage my house? Because it's going to sell in 2 days. It
may. But you could also be leaving money on the table, even if it's a hot seller's market. There are some really great takeaways. 6 benefits for selling in a seller's market, right? So the first one is that you want the buyers to fall in love with you. They're not with you, sorry.
Your house.
They can. The house. They have to fall in love with the house because that's what's going to get them to write an offer. Right. If they're not falling in love with the house, they're still not going to make an offer regardless if it's a hot market.
Right.
Unless you're selling it for really, really cheap, then hey, who knows? But we're not trying to do that. We're trying to get you the most money that you can out of your house. Maximize the profit, right? Yep. Then they're also going to, so staging not only works for the buyers, it also can help with your inspectors and also your appraisers. Not like they're going to skip over something. It's that when you walk into a place that looks beautiful, that feels very updated, that feels like it's been kept up, that already starts with their mindset as well. Again, they have to go back to their numbers and they're going to do their job, how they have to do it. It just gets the mindset going of like, this is a great property. Sometimes it helps when a house is staged. If you have a vacant home, when people walk into that home, regardless if it's a hot market or not, all they can see is all the little quirks and flaws that a house might have. And every house has them. That's okay. We expect that. There's no such thing as a perfect house. So what staging helps people do is kind of glance over those things that are not necessarily the best attribute of the house, and we focus on the things that are. We highlight those. We show them that, hey, this house is amazing and you need this house. You want this house. So that works in every market, but still in a seller's market, a hot seller's market, that is also key as well.
Great.
MLS photos, we already talked about that.
It just makes your house look really finished, and if people like it online, I hear this a lot, they'll come visit.
They will come visit.
So you're going to get traffic.
Absolutely. More eyes on the house, more traffic to you, which could be, that's all beneficial. It always, in a vacant home, homes generally look smaller. It also, so staging a home will make a house look bigger. That's still key in a seller's market. It doesn't matter. We want to make sure that people can see what furniture can be placed. Most people are not able to visualize what it is that they can put into this house. Yes, we all know that they have a bed or a couch or whatever it might be. This just helps them to actually view it.
So that brings up another good point is, when we're working with you, it helps people imagine what they can do with the space. Because sometimes we just had one where it was a very awkward front room, and the comments we were getting a lot was how to use the space. So with Michelle's expertise, you can go in there and make that, so it gives them an idea on what they can use that. So
exactly. People can come in and see like, oh, this is how I would use it. It doesn't mean that's how they're going to use it, but it at least gives them the idea of like, this is what could fit in here, or this is how you can utilize it.
And if it's just a vacant front room, people sometimes can't see past that. I mean, a lot of people can, but I would say half the population, because they're engineers, are black and white. What am I going to do with that space, honey? That's the question we get. So
we all know kind of how big things are. It's just, but when you actually put them in there, it's much easier to associate that. On the flip side, we always talk about vacant homes. There's also homes that have too much stuff in them, and it makes everything look really small. So
I have one right now that's coming. So
exactly, where you kind of have to remove some. We had one that had a king size bed in a secondary room. Yeah, that room felt really, really small, and it's really, once we removed it, it's pretty spacious, but it just had the wrong size furniture. So that is still something that helps you in any type of market that we're in, showcasing the home. And then the last thing is, yes, staging is an investment in your property, and you can expect anywhere, the statistics are 5 to 15% return on investment for
how much you
staging.
invest in it.
Mm-hmm. So for their example is for every 1% that you put into a house, and that's for your return on investment for every 1% you put into a house. $1 million home, you put $10,000 of staging investment, you can expect, another maybe a $50,000 over asking or $50,000 more than what they would. Do we always know how much that is? No. I don't have a crystal ball, but I just know that you're gonna, with staging, you will get. With preparing the home and staging, you're going to get the top dollar that you can possibly get out of that.
You must be doing good. Look at all the likes.
Perfect. I like you too.
Yeah. Lots of good people out there commenting, so this is great. Let's kind of talk about some other things. Mm-hmm. Do you actually go in? I know you have furniture at the warehouse. It's quite amazing. If you guys haven't checked it out, call down, come check it out. Yeah. But do you actually take people's existing furniture and restage it? Is that an option too? Yeah,
there's many different degrees of staging. So we can do an occupied stage, which is where we come in and we utilize the furniture that you have now. It's either that we come in and rearrange what you have, and that's kind of the extent of it. There's also where we will use your furniture and bring in more of our stuff to complement that. And then there's also just a vacant stage where we bring in all the furniture. So yes, we can use what you have, or we might have to remove some of what you have because it's not doing what it needs to do for the house right now. How we live and how we sell are two very different things.
Sure.
It's never, whenever you bring in a stager, it's never about us coming in and critiquing how you're living and the furniture that you have and what you love to have in your house or the colors that you use. We're trying to appeal to as many people as we can.
And that's a great point because some people fall in love with their style. Yeah. And I'm just telling you, it's kind of awkward to tell a seller. And that's why I like to have Michele come in because she'll tell the truth. And that way I don't get in trouble. Yes, because some styles don't work for everyone else.
Right. There's some styles that are very, very specific, and that's great. We want you to have your specific style in your new home.
Yeah.
We want you to love that. Everybody has that, except for when we live in an HGTV and Pinterest world right now.
Right.
And so when buyers walk in, that's kind of what they're expecting and depending on where they're coming from, there's a lot of expectation of what a house is going to look like. And they're like, all right, this house is listed at this. And if they start having to do any laundry list of items, they're coming off that price potentially. So we want to stop that as much as we possibly can and let them just come in and experience it, whether it's using your furniture, bringing in some of our stuff, or bringing in all of our stuff. We're going to stop that. And it's, again, not about your choice of style. You may not like what we bring in because it's not your style.
Right.
But, again, we're trying to appeal to the masses. And eventually you might fall in love with it.
So that brings up a good point that I struggle with is how do you choose the style to go with in each home? Is that just kind of like a feel you come in, or is that experience? So, I mean, a Southwest Vistas home might be different than a Saddlehorn, but is it the location and then your feel, or how do you, because I look at your warehouse, I mean, you have a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
How do you choose the one that's going to go in that? Is that kind of like the art side of it?
That is the art side of it. Things that we look at the finishes of the home, the overall feel and style of the home. I mean, we can't go into a home that's very traditional, has a lot of dark woods, maybe, sometimes some older granite color choices, just different finishes that are a little bit more traditional. Well, we can't bring in modern furniture and expect that it's going to fit, right? It's not going to work. It'll look odd. We're not in the business to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to bring in furniture that we think can complement the home style. Now, in doing that, it doesn't mean I'm going to go out and maybe bring in some furniture from 1980s or something like that, because that's where the finishes started. We're going to bring in stuff that's going to update that feel of the house, but we're not going to it's not going to clash with the house.
Yep.
So it is definitely dependent on the home.
And that's why you need someone that's been doing this a while, because then you have an idea, they have an idea. And that's something I struggle with as an engineer.
We all struggle. It's not just an engineer. We all struggle with that.
Yeah, it's coming up with that right one. So
yeah, again, so many people like all these different styles, because it's like, ooh, that's pretty, I want that. And putting it all together in one house doesn't always work. So we kind of remove that a little bit, go with the style, complement the home, highlight the attributes of the home, and kind of take away from the other.
So, kind of a personal question for your business.
Yes.
What price range are most of your clientele? I'm just kind of getting that.
All over.
It's all over.
It's all over. All over. There's not really... So staging works for any house, any market, any price point.
There you go.
Obviously, if you have already had your house designed by a designer, there's probably nothing I can come in and do.
Right.
I would just like to see your house.
Give you some ideas for next
Give me some ideas. At the same time, if we have a property that is really going to be sold as is and needs a ton of work, and we're not willing to put in the money, we're not going to not necessarily put in, but invest in rehabbing this house, refreshing this house, and then selling it. Okay, there's only so much staging can cover. There's only so much staging can actually, deter somebody from.
Yeah, it's not like a magic wand.
It is not, if I had a magic wand, we'd be investing and we'd redo this house and get it on the market for what it is. But short of that, I can't bring in furniture and staging and everything that we do to, if the walls are missing. Okay,
right.
So there's only so much we can do. So there are, yes, there are two extremes of that, but really everything else in between. We can help. We've gone from a 500 square foot condo, which was super cute and we all loved, to a luxury home that was, again, it turned into something that we're like, well, we can all live here. We can all chip in and do this. So it all ranges, all price points, all style homes. It works.
And then we talked about this generally speaking, because we have more and more. If you look at the MLS and the prices appreciation, we have more and more houses over $1 million here. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we're selling a lot more of those. Mm-hmm. We have California buyers, and we kind of were talking about this. It was kind of interesting. Is California buyers, if you're in the upper end exclusive listings like we deal with, they kind of expect your house to be finished, because in California, the customary thing is to have theirs. So when they have theirs done and they're getting big money, they kind of want to see a house that's staged correct.
Right. They want to see like what they want to walk into the same feeling that they've now done for their buyer of their house. It's all about the experience. So it's becoming more and more popular. Yep. It's becoming more and more expected.
Yep.
And again, staging ranges. There's a huge degree of staging. There's a huge range of staging that we can do, but it's just kind of expected. The presentation of your property is expected.
Okay, so a little bit about the details.
Yes.
It might be too personal. I don't know. You don't have to answer this, but what is pricing approximately, and then who typically pays for it? I'm just gonna get it out there.
Pricing is all dependent upon how the square footage of the house, what we're going to stage in the house. Okay. Our philosophy when we're staging is going back to my roots of my mom being a new home sales agent, and me just do I have to leave? I just want to stay here and live. I'll just live here. Most people walk into a model home and they're like, yes, I know it's only 2 bedrooms. I have 6 kids, but we'll make it work because it's so beautiful. Well, we have that same philosophy of creating a model home out of your home. So we're going to do everything that we can. We would prefer, and the optimal stage is to do everything that we can to your home to make it look like that model home. Short of that, the next best thing, and where I think that it's the least that you could do, is the Fab 5. The Fab 5 is the kitchen, the living room, the dining room, the primary bedroom, and the primary bathroom. Those are the Fab 5. Now, there's also, with that, if it's a larger home and there's other living areas, we want to do those living areas too, because that's where people are and they're staying. Most people can envision a bedroom, but we make them look really cute and they just want to live in that bedroom. But they can envision a bedroom. The other living areas are still crucial to that.
Right.
So Fab 5 plus if we have a larger home.
And who kind of pays for it in this market?
Typically, it's the sellers that our experience has been that the sellers are paying for it. We have experienced where the seller and the agent may split it. You know, as things change and our price points are changing a little bit, it might become in other areas such as maybe California, the higher end luxury homes. It is customary for the agent sometimes to pay for it. So what we've experienced though for the most part is that in this market still is that the seller is paying for it. And then
so kind of last question and we'll wrap it up. This is all great information. I can't wait to get back out there. But how do they get it? You come in and give them a price or a quote. So if someone wants to stage their home, contact us. We'll call you. You come out and you have a free consultation. Is that how it works?
Yeah, so we believe in, we'll look at photos online. If the house has been on the market at some point in time, we can always look at photos. But really coming in and feeling the house is how we prefer to do it. We walk through the house. We get a better feel for the scale that we have to use, a better feel for the flow. And this is a little bit way far out for the engineering mind, but like the energy flow of it. People don't understand what those feelings are, but they still experience them. So we try to come in and make headway on that. So we come in, we feel the house, we create a proposal for you, and then get back to you. And we work hand in hand either with if the seller has contacted us, we want to make sure that we're working hand in hand with the agent as well, because we need to be part of that process. And again, it's a team effort. We are part of the team, so we're here to help. And
now, do people come down here to your warehouse and choose, or no? You kind of make the recommendation.
We make the
recommendation.
Otherwise,
that been tripping over.
Because see, if they came down and made choices out of the warehouse, then we probably have the same house that they're already in.
No, that's a good point.
Which is, again, not bad, but for staging and for selling is a little bit different.
You're trying to maximize the different number of people out there that want that.
And I can't guarantee that when you come down here that that's going to still be here because it's not going out on another stage. Yep. We bring in, so we'll bring in the right furniture. And if we select something that we think is going to be right and it ends up not filling the area well or not, it's competing with something, we make that correction ourselves and go and bring back something else that's going to complement the house more. So there's a lot that goes into it, but no, you can come down and check it out and let's have a conversation.
It's a fun
place.
You can
at least see it. It's fun.
It's a cool place.
But
they got pretty much everything.
We make the final selection.
Okay. Final thoughts. What else out there? Anything? Final thoughts, or we kind of covered it all?
I think we've covered a lot of it. It's a fun time in the real estate right now. It's fun for me. It's been a crazy market. Yep. It's so fun to see the transformations. We love it when the sellers, the clients, we ask that you kind of not be around the property when we're staging, because let me tell you, it looks like complete chaos. And there's no way this is ever going to come together by the time it comes together, but it's got to look really ugly and before it looks really pretty. So, so we kind of can't wait for that time, that reveal, if you will, where they walk through the house and they fall in love with their house again. And usually they ask if they can put in an offer, and we say yes. The clients are entertaining highest and best. So, yeah, that's about. I think we've covered a lot.
And I think staging right now, we're seeing a lot more price reductions. We're seeing a lot more houses. In my opinion, it's because of the time of year and seasonality of real estate. But we've seen a lot of houses that could definitely use Michelle's input on, because people are still slapping stuff out there and not taking what it takes to sell a $2 million, $3 million. So I think there's money left behind, and I think she can make a difference. So how about the best way to contact you? Your name, your company, one last time.
So one more time, Michele Goodness, High Sierra Staging. We are on the web, so.
And I'll put your information down below. No, I'll put your information in the video, and so you can see it and your name and number.
So just give me a call, 775-224-6939, 775-224-6939. And I'd love to chat with you and come see your house, even just to kind of take a look. Yep. I'm happy. We're happy to do that.
Take a look and let's see if it makes a difference.
Exactly.
And she said that she was going to be nervous. Do you think she was nervous? Not a chance.
Give me just a second.
So wrapping up here, we love new guests. So if anybody's out there, you have a business, has to do with real estate, there's a lot of things out there. Love to get new faces on here. We're just trying to provide great content for our our clan, our subscribers, and make a difference. So
I love this. Yeah.
good stuff. So if you have any questions, you know my number by now, 775-525-0309. I can also put you in touch with Michelle. Otherwise, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. And
Thanks for
hosting
having
us
us, yeah.
today. And then we will be live sometime next week. You guys take care and have a great week.
Bye.
Look at that camera. Oh.